Many years ago, in a land far away, an angry man stormed into a store of Target, a retail corporation. He had just found in his mailbox an envelope addressed to his teenage daughter with coupons for products related to pregnancy and birth. "My daughter is still in high school," he raged. "Are you trying to convince her to get pregnant?" The on-site manager immediately apologized, but a few days later, it was the father who found himself apologizing. "It turns out," he said, "there were things going on in my house I was not aware of." His daughter was indeed pregnant. How does something like this happen? Well, I don't mean the pregnancy, but how did Target know that the girl was pregnant before her father did? Target's algorithms, designed to predict customers' needs and preferences, identified a certain change in consumption of food and cosmetic products by pregnant women. And so they could identify a customer who is pregnant and target her accordingly, without her ever consenting to share this information. This classic tale about Target is just one of many stories demonstrating how technology can invade our privacy. The applications we use on a daily basis collect and identify all kinds of information about us. For example, data analytics has shown that certain mental illnesses can be identified based on posts on social media. Our intelligence can be approximated based on the movies and TV series we watch, and so on. In this reality, how can this basic human right of privacy be protected? Who can protect us? As technology evolved, new and enhanced laws for protecting privacy have been put in place, including procedures for their enforcement, inflicting heavy penalties on companies who do not comply with them. Problem solved. Or is it? As companies are more motivated now than ever to protect our privacy, the systems and applications that exist and we use show that privacy protection is actually severely underperformed. In order to understand why and how to change the situation, we need to focus on the engineers developing those systems. And so my research group, in collaboration with privacy researchers from the disciplines of law and technology, set out to understand how do engineers make development decisions related to privacy. Engineers, we learned, are very focused on system functionality. And so if there's an objective, for example, to predict customer needs, they focus on what they can do, often neglecting the question of whether they should do it. And so the question whether it is a good idea to identify such an intimate detail, a woman's pregnancy, without her consent, doesn't come up. So how can we rectify this? Perhaps we can educate our engineers to be more aware of ethical concerns. Well, we found that being aware of these ethical considerations is not all that matters. Speaking to an interviewee who was clearly very concerned about ethics, we asked her, "Do you make sure that data collection is always legal?" She said, "Yes, but once I'm told to leave it, I go along with the organization." Well, we thought, if engineers go along with the organization, perhaps the answer is organizational policy. Evidence, again, showed differently. An interviewee speaking about policy said, "We should delete data when they become obsolete. We do not delete, ever." Why? The answer explaining these examples and many others we have encountered is organizational climate. If an engineer perceives that the managers and peers believe that promoting sales is more important than protecting privacy, they would act accordingly. So what should a company do in order to actually change the priorities in practice within the company? To answer this question, I started collaborating with an organizational science researcher. I learned that organizational climate can be both measured and changed. And so we decided to leverage the fact that organizational climate affects engineers to our advantage. We developed a privacy climate measure and leadership tools for changing it. We implemented this in a case study company and showed that as climate improves, so does the actual protection of privacy in the developed systems. And privacy is just one of many human rights and values that we would like to protect if we are to develop responsible systems. Looking at this wider view, we believe that we can adapt this approach to all these different requirements for responsible systems. And so if we make this vision a reality, we will be able to get responsible systems that respect and protect human rights. If we have those systems, then we can decide for ourselves, for example, if, when, and how to share our private information. Thank you.